Hi Cook Along friends, it's Chef Diane. Friday, yay. Ready for the weekend? I'm ready for the weekend and I can't wait to share this recipe with all of you. It's one of my favorite things to make and teach. We're making rainbow summer rolls today. So they're made with spring roll wrappers. So these rice wrappers that are rigid, and then you soak them in water and make them supple, so you can wrap whatever you like around in them. And so before we get started, I'm gonna make an announcement actually. Invite your friends. If you love cooking along with me, you feel free to invite them to this group. The more the merrier. The more people we have cooking and having fun, the more exciting this group is. So invite a friend, and also don't forget, when you cook, I love to see your pictures. So send them my way into the Facebook group. And if you love these cook-alongs and you want more cooking skills, I have my Farm Box Kitchen Boot Camp, and it is a rigorous course just like culinary school, but geared for kids. So you can learn all kinds of more complex skills in the kitchen and make you more confident. So, all right, let's talk about what we need to get started. Number one, let's hand wash. So if you haven't hand washed already, go ahead and get that going. And then we'll talk about our ingredients. So for these summer rolls, these rainbow summer rolls, we're doing a rainbow of vegetables inside. And so you get to pick your own rainbow. I say 4 to 5 different vegetables. And what I chose today were, I'm gonna do red cabbage because it is so full of healthful antioxidants and vitamins and minerals. A carrot, I think carrot's like essential. You have to have a carrot in here. I'm gonna do a zucchini, but you could also use cucumber if you like. Asparagus, because it's in season right now. And some little baby bell peppers. So that's my rainbow, but if you like, you could put in green onions, you could put in baby spinach, herbs like mint, cilantro, basil. You could even make them with a protein. You could put in some cooked chicken or cooked shrimp inside your summer roll. And then of course, most important ingredient here is the summer roll. So this is something you pick up at a specialty market. Or sometimes your grocery store might have them. And another optional ingredient are these rice sticks that we're gonna soak and put inside. If you have them, great, you can use them. If not, then you can skip it, no problem at all. So I'll show you how to work with these 2 ingredients. Then we're gonna make a sauce. So our sauce today is a soy ginger sauce. So we've got soy sauce, we have rice wine vinegar, and then we're gonna grate in some ginger. And if you like spice, I like to add a little Siracha to mine because Siracha has the chili spice, but it also has a little bit of garlic. It just makes it a little bit more complex, but it's not super hot. So those are our ingredients for our dipping sauce. If you didn't want to make a dipping sauce and you had like some peanut sauce in your fridge or a chili sauce, you could use those as well. I'm just going to put that to the side for right now and talk about what our equipment is. You'll need a large bowl filled with hot water to soften your rice paper wrappers. You'll also need some portion bowls because the vegetables are all going to go in their own individual portion bowls, and then we'll just put a little tiny bit of each one in each summer roll. You'll need some measuring spoons, tasting spoons for your sauce, and something to mix your sauce with, and a cheese grater to grate the carrot and the zucchini. You could also cut them if you like, but I just think this is nice and safe, and it gets it small so everything fits in the roll. A microplane to mince your ginger or grate your ginger. And then, a knife that you like that fits your hand and is safe for you, and a cutting board. So I'm gonna be using asparagus and these rice sticks in my wrapper. So let me show you a couple of things you need to do to prep them. If you're not using either of those things today, you could go ahead and grab your carrot and start grating it. So with your carrot to grate it, what you want to do is cut off the tip, just where anything that's ugly, wrinkled, or whatever, you want to cut that off. And then holding onto your grater with a nice firm grip on your cutting board, and then holding onto your carrot so your fingers aren't in the way at all. So you don't want to have your hand down here. You want to have your hand holding it so it doesn't get close to the grater, just go up and down. So you can start grating your carrot. Meanwhile, I'm going to get my asparagus ready for my rolls. So asparagus you could put in raw if you like, but it's nice to parboil them or blanch them. And I'm gonna show you how. So asparagus has a woody end here and a soft edible part here. Hold on to the woody end and then go halfway up the asparagus stem and snap it. So that's the good part to eat, and the rest of it gets thrown away. So I'm just gonna quickly snap my asparagus so all of the woody end is off. And then I'm gonna plunge it into some boiling water. So I have some salted boiling water already going. And when you parboil or blanch, you only do it for a minute or so. And it just is to bring the vibrant green out and make the flavors of the vegetable deepen. You could do this with broccoli as well. Like say you wanted to make you wanted to put your broccoli in your summer roll, or if you wanted to make a dip and serve it with broccoli on the side, you'd want to blanch your broccoli first just to make it taste more flavorful and also make it a little bit easier to bite. So here, this asparagus is pretty woody. I took off the ends. This is gonna go into my blanching water, which is heating on my stove for about a minute. And I'll be able to see, I'm gonna show it to you I'll show you to you when it's ready. I'll be able to see the green really come out. So I'll just in my mind, think about when a minute is, I'll check on it. Meanwhile, I'll keep grating my carrot. So hold on tight to that cheese grater and then rub up and down. You may not need all of this carrot. We're gonna do just about a 1/4 cup of each of your choice of vegetable, 4 to 5 vegetables. And if you're watching me live, type in what vegetables you'd like to put into your rainbow summer roll. So this is all I need, just a 1/4 cup, and I'm gonna put it in a portion bowl. I've already washed all my vegetables. If you haven't washed your vegetables, then this is a good moment to do that. And then I'm gonna grate my zucchini next. If you're using cucumber, you could grate it as well. You just wanna take out that watery seed pod in the middle that we looked at last week. So here is my zucchini. I've already washed it. Give it a grate. Just about a 1/4 cup, so just this much. We're gonna make about 6 to 8 summer rolls. And that's about a minute. So let me go check on my asparagus and I'm gonna show you. So here's my asparagus. It's been in boiling water for a minute and now it's soft and tender and it is also a bright green. So what I need to do to stop it from cooking is plunge it into an ice water bath. Doesn't that sound fun? Plunging into an ice water bath. Like a polar bear plunge. So we're gonna put it into a bowl with ice water and just let it sit there until we're ready to use it. And that's gonna cool it down and keep it from stop it from cooking. And then with this hot water, I'm gonna put my rice sticks in. These have to soak in hot water for about 10 minutes. I don't need all of them, but I'm just gonna go ahead and soak them because I can use them for later. There's a little bit of salt in here, and I'm just gonna move them around in that hot water so they're all submerged. And I'm also going to put a timer on, just so I remember that those will be about 10 minutes. So we're back to our zucchini. If you're using zucchini. If not, you know what to do for next time you make summer rolls and you'd like to do zucchini. I have carrots, zucchini. I'm gonna use cabbage. You could use baby spinach. You could use lettuce, just like a tender lettuce. So for the cabbage, I'm gonna get some stuff out of the way here. We're gonna have a lot of different little bowls of stuff. The cabbage, I'm going to cut off this core. I've already taken off all the ugly outer leaves, and then I washed it. I'm gonna cut it in half. I'll just leave this core in. Put the flat side down, and I'm just gonna cut this into super, super thin ribbons. This is what you do if you had basil or mint leaves. And once again, I don't need a whole lot. So I'm probably just gonna use 1/4 of this little cabbage I have. And I'm just gonna pull apart these leaves so I have little individual slices like this. And then for the peppers, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm gonna make some slices with that. The purple is really pretty, but it does get a little bit of color on everything. But the more colorful, the better. Oh, grab some paper towels too. So you'll need a few paper towels for your rice paper wrappers. All right, so I have zucchini, carrots, cabbage, and I'm gonna put in some red peppers. I also have my asparagus that's in the cold water bath. So for my peppers, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut off, and let's do it this way. Cut off the top, cut it in half, and you can just pull the seed pod out with your fingers. And then I usually just like kind of give it a little tap. I have a different way of cutting peppers that I probably showed you, but with these little tiny ones, it's not really as effective. Try to get all those seeds out. And we're gonna cut this into a julienne slice. So that means a thin, like a very thin baton. So the goal is that they would look like this, like little sticks. It's matchsticks. That's what the julienne is, a matchstick cut. And if you have anything icky on your vegetable, just cut it off. Don't put anything brown or wilted or in your food. You want everything to look beautiful so people will see it and want to eat it because we eat with our eyes. So I'm going to do one more pepper and I think I'll have enough for my summer rolls. Just going to pull out the seed pod, shake off the seeds. Push away the seeds on my board. And give it a little cut. I rarely cut things on the rolly side, but with peppers, if I put the flat side down, it's really hard to slice that thin skin of the pepper. Isn't that amazing that it's so thin, but it's so resilient? So I turn it over, go on the other side. Just be sure to use your claw grip. Always, always have the finger and thumb tucked behind the fingers. And the goal is to just get really pretty slices that are about the same size. And no longer than about 4 inches. If you have bigger peppers, you can use longer slices. Alrighty, so here is my mise en place. So everything in place is what mise en place means. That means that you get everything organized before you actually start cooking. So I'm gonna get a new board because this one's got some vegetable stuff on it. I'm gonna drain my asparagus. So I'm gonna take it out of the ice water bath. Just give it a chance to drain. And I might even put them on some paper towels just to get that extra water off. So here is paper towel in this bowl. And my asparagus is gonna go right there. Okay. All of my ingredients lined up, except that I'm going to also have my rice paper wrappers. I'm sorry. I'm also gonna have my rice noodles, which have about 5 more minutes to go. Alrighty, so get a clean cutting board. And it's better to do these on a cutting board than on your direct countertop because the cutting board has a little bit of a rough surface that'll keep it from sticking to it. Then you're gonna grab your big bowl and you're gonna fill it up with hot water. So put your finger under the tap until you have to pull it away. Don't make it too hot because you're gonna be working with your hands, but just enough so it's hot enough to soften the rice paper wrappers. If you haven't made these before, they're really fun to work with. And it's just like making a crepe. Your first one might not turn out beautiful. They'll still taste delicious. But once you continue to do them, you'll get the hang of it. So now I have my water, my rice paper wrappers, my mise en place. I gotta figure out how to show this to you though when we're doing it. So I'm gonna put my mise en place in front of me here. My water over here to the side. My cutting board all arranged for you. And then my rice noodles are ready. So they're all soaked and they're softened. I just need to give those a drain. And if you like, you could season these with a little bit of soy sauce. So let's start rolling. So grab your rice paper wrappers and just make sure that when you grab one, you're not getting water on the other ones or else they'll start sticking together and it'll be hard to get them back apart again. And you're gonna put them in the water and you'll see that they're gonna start to roll up like that. So take your hand and just turn it over. Try to get it flat. You can take your fingertips and just kind of submerge it into the water. So these say on the package about 10 minutes, but they really take about 15 to 30 seconds. And you can feel them start to get more supple. So now they're not looking so rigid, they're a little bit more pliant. And then you'll also start to see them look a little bit opaque. So they go from clear to looking more opaque. You don't want to overdo them or else they'll get too mushy. I had this in here for about 15 minutes. It looks like this. Let's give it another 5 seconds. I'm sorry, I keep on saying minutes instead of seconds. So this is 15 seconds, not minutes. That would be an awfully long time. These lessons are designed to be 30 seconds, 30 minutes or less. Okay, so now I have a very supple rice paper wrapper. I'm gonna try to make sure that my corners don't all fold on top of each other because they'll start to get tacky and stick to each other. And then I'm gonna just take a little pat on a wet paper towel. So just a little tap without letting it get too folded up on itself. Just to blot off any extra water. Just give it a little bit of a blot. And then it goes on your board. Again, try to get those edges so they're not sticking on each other. And then think of your circle as having a lower third and thinking the whole rice paper wrapper of having 1 inch around it. So just like when you make a pizza and you have the crust, you want to have a 1 inch border around it. So you take your vegetables, just a few at a time. So there's my peppers. My carrots, I'm just doing about a tablespoon of carrots, a few slices of fresh cabbage, another tablespoon of zucchini, and I'm going to do 2 asparagus spears. And you're going to pile them on that bottom third of the rice paper wrapper with a border around it. Then it's time, I'm going to put a little bit of my rice noodles in here too. Just a pinch. You don't want to overstuff this. If you overstuff them, then burst at the seams. Then you're going to take the bottom of the rice paper wrapper, fold it up and over, so you have it up over all the vegetables. It's like a little log there. You're going to take the sides and fold them in, and again fold them in, and then roll the entire vegetable roll all the way up to the end. So you can see here, you can see all the colors of the rainbow. You can hold this on a cutting board. And then if you like to see what it looks like inside, let's give it a little cut. So here we go. There's our rainbow summer roll. And I'm gonna make one more, and then I'm gonna show you how to make the sauce. So let's put these aside, make sure our board is nice and clear. Put in another spring roll. About 15 seconds. You'll feel it go from very stiff to soft. Just make sure that doesn't roll up on itself. Have your paper towel ready to blot. Starting to get a little soft here, so I gotta give it about 10 more seconds. The thing that's really fun about these is you can make them have whatever style you like. They can have protein, they can be vegan, they can be tofu inside. And there's my second wrapper. I'm just gonna shake off the water, make it round again on my board, and give it a little blot with a paper towel. And then remembering to keep my border clear and my bottom third as where my vegetables go, not overstuffing. I'm gonna do the same thing. That's why it's so nice to have all these bowls lined up, everything organized, so you can remember each ingredient that goes in. I'm gonna put these rice noodles in here. 2 pieces of asparagus. And then taking the bottom border, pulling it up over the vegetables, creating this little log here. And then you're gonna take your sides in, fold it over. Sides in, fold it over. I have like a little bit of asparagus tip sticking out here, so it's making a little, they're poking. I'm just gonna fold this a little bit. Fold it over. Just really light fingers. They're quite forgiving. And then roll it all the way up. And here we have another one of our rainbow summer rolls. So I'm gonna let you try making some of those on your own while I make our dipping sauce. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments section, or if you want to tell me what vegetables you're using, which ones are your favorite. So once again, you're going to need your soy sauce, rice vinegar, a piece of ginger. Now the skin is still on this. I'm going to show you how to take the skin off. Sriracha if you like it spicy, a microclane, and some tablespoons. So I'm going to take my mixing bowl, measure out 2 tablespoons of soy. This is a very simple sauce. You could jazz it up if you wanted to with some sesame seeds or some sesame oil. You could put lime juice in it. I like recipes that you can use your creativity. 2 tablespoons of rice wine vinegar. And then you're going to use your ginger. So the ginger has a little bit of skin on it. The best way to get the skin off, because it's so nubby and bumpy, using a vegetable peeler really isn't very effective. Take a tasting spoon or a regular teaspoon from your drawer, and then you're going to hold onto your ginger, hold onto the spoon with your fingers and then your thumb to stop it, and you're going to go rub that spoon along the side of the ginger till you get all the skin off. If it's easier for you, you could also just put the ginger down on your cutting board and scrape it this way. So we need about 1 inch of ginger root. So just, you only need to take the skin off of about 1 inch of ginger root. And then we'll let the microplane do all the work for us. So remember that this has sharp blades. Hold on to the handle firmly and just rub the ginger up and down on the microplane. You're gonna find very little of the ginger falls onto your cutting board. It's mostly gonna gather on the bottom of your microplane. So just keep grating that inch. Keeping your fingers away from the blades. And then when you have it grated, you just turn it over into your bowl and tap, tap, tap. And then you can use a whisk or a spoon to mix it all together. You could add a 1/4 teaspoon of sriracha if you like. Start off slow with the sriracha. Even if you think you like spicy, just go a little bit. And then we get to taste it, and if you want to add more, you can add more. So we've got 2 tablespoons of soy sauce, 2 tablespoons of rice vinegar, a 1/4 teaspoon of sriracha, and our fresh grated ginger in here. Let's give it a taste and see if it's to our taste. I think it's delicious, but you might want to add a little bit more vinegar, more sriracha if you think it's too mild. A little bit of soy sauce. If you put too much sriracha in, you can just put another tablespoon of soy sauce and another tablespoon of rice wine vinegar. So here we go. All you do is you take your rainbow roll, give it a dip. Bite in. Totally healthy, delicious, light, easy. It's so great to use up any vegetables that you have in your refrigerator. I always just get an extra package of these and just have them in there for whenever I want to roll up my extra veggies and my extra herbs. Please let me know how your summer rolls turn out. I'll be watching comments all day today, so if you want to leave a comment and ask a question, I'll follow up on it right away. I hope you're going to have a beautiful weekend. I love cooking along with you, and I'll see you next Friday.